Hi everyone, I'm Leo Ochoa, the founder of Dorsum. Today, I want to talk to you about the challenges that come with building a business while having a full-time job. The challenges, but also some of the benefits and how I manage to balance that in my personal life. For example, this week, I've been traveling for work, but also finding ways to work on my business in between work schedule, attending events, working on tasks, and the travel. It's not easy, but it's manageable, and I'm getting a little better at it. It does require more planning, more thinking ahead, more organizing what you need for work and what you need for your business. So it does require packing doubles or multiplying with things I bring, but keeping them separate and organized. I'll tell you about this week, but it also kind of leads into the entire month. This month, I've been traveling a lot more than I normally do. I've actually been traveling every week this month, but I'm going to explain how this week went and then cover the month as well. This week started with Monday, regular work, working from home. Tuesday was work for a full 8 hours, then packing in the evening, getting to bed early so I can do an early drive up to Seattle, from Portland to Seattle on Wednesday. Wednesday was travel day. So I left early in the morning, planning a 3.5 hour drive, estimating for traffic, build up along the way, crossing three major cities. So you always have to plan for traffic, especially around midday on a work day. So I left early. That meant I packed everything early in the morning, got in my car, did the drive, ate breakfast along the way. Traffic wasn't that bad. It did kind of build up along Tacoma and then coming into the city. But I also had to run an errand along the way. I had to stop along the way and pick up coffee, but also had to make a quick stop to the bank. Not a big problem. It just added like 30 more minutes to the drive. Was able to get up in Seattle for a 1 o'clock call that I had planned that I couldn't reschedule because this person that I had to meet with, his schedule is pretty tight too. So if I had to push it out, it would have been like another week. And the next week it's a holiday. So I didn't want to miss this meeting that I had scheduled for 1. But that meant I had to either take it in the car or get to the destination on time so I can take a conference call from one of the rooms. I was going up to visit the hub up in Seattle, which the organization I work with is a partner organization. So we co-run the lab together. We were going up there, meeting the rest of my team the rest of my work team early afternoon. What ended up happening is I missed the exit and it rerouted me, ruined my planning. I would have gotten there 15 minutes before 1, would have been able to quickly check in and take the call, but missing the exit rerouted me all the way up to University District. And I ended up taking the Zoom call from my car, connecting my laptop to a hotspot from my phone. I was able to do the meeting. It wasn't the best connection. We had disconnects during the meeting, but I was able to do it. It was a good introduction to this person I had the call with. So I'm glad I didn't miss it. We did schedule a follow-up, an in-person meeting for Monday coming up after the weekend. And so that was good. And that's going to be better. So in person, we're going to be able to get business done. But I was able to take the call on the road. It did make it a little bit more stressful and chaotic around that 1 o'clock hour. But I was able to do it, reroute it back into the city, was able to arrive at my destination downtown around 1:45-ish. Quickly parked, checked in, and then went up to the hub to meet with my work team and then get work the rest of the day, ending with team dinner and then checking into the hotel, packing things that I needed for the following day. Thursday was a whole work day at the hub. We had a lot of activities planned and an open house, which is the main reason that we were up here. So I was able to get Email done after dinner. That's one of the things. You don't want to drink too much, even if it's a team activity. You want to be able to stay hydrated, get enough sleep, clear your mind, answer work emails if you have to. So I was able to check into the hotel right before dinner, drop my things. After dinner, come back to the hotel, and I was starting to feel a little sleepy around 9 p.m. But I knew if I fell asleep, I was gonna knock out. That's how tired I was from the drive and then the team activities we had that day. So I forced myself not to fall asleep around 9. Drank some water, want to stay hydrated, but I was able to spend about 2 hours just answering emails, making sure that the entrepreneurs, the mentors that we were coordinating schedules with to be able to attend on me on Thursday, join us for the day. I want to make sure that last minute things were taken care of. So I was up late answering email, was able to fall asleep around midnight and had an efficient sleep. Didn't wake up very much during the night. So right about 6:30, I naturally start to wake up now because it's summertime. Technically it's summer now. And 6:30, my body is like ready to go. My mind starts already thinking and planning for the day. Woke up at 7, got things ready that I needed for the day, showered, and then met my work team downstairs at the executive lounge for breakfast, the continental breakfast, which is traditional, regular hotel breakfast, but it's enough. It's what we needed for the day. So we met down there for breakfast as a team, and then walked over to a few blocks over to the building where the hub is. Started the day at 9, and then was able to do the activities. We had planned a few interviews with the mentors, and then connecting entrepreneurs to mentorship, in-person mentorship, things like that. And then being able to help with the open house / happy hour party activity that we had planned. Ended up going till about 5:30, had to pack all the camera equipment, try to head out of the building around 6, come back to the hotel here to drop things off, drop other things off in my car that's parked down in the garage. So all of that wrapped up right around 6:15-ish. Then we headed out for dinner, because when you have a full day of events, you're coordinating a lot of moving pieces, getting people checked in, getting people to the locations, making introductions, meeting entrepreneurs, scheduling meetings for follow-ups. That's normally what my work involves in these in-person events. The whole goal is to meet entrepreneurs, get them connected to the ecosystem, get them connected to mentorship, make introductions to other team members, also spend time connecting and working and interacting with our partner organization that attend the meetings or the events. And then just try to enjoy it. It's hard to enjoy it because there's a lot to do and your body's tired, your mind's tired. So right around 6:15-ish, dropped off everything. We went out to get dinner with the team. Everybody needed it. We were all tired. After dinner, then we had some wine bottles left. We went to one of the rooms with our team members and then just ended the night drinking wine and then talking about how the day went, kind of debriefing, but also spending a little bit of time together, having fun, having a fun conversation, just to end the night. This morning, then everybody heads back down to Portland. For me, it involved getting up early, a little later than yesterday. I woke up at 7:15-ish, 7:30-ish. I kind of felt like I slept in a little bit. Woke up around 7:15-ish, 7:30-ish is when I got up. And so I felt like I slept in a little bit, but I got ready just enough to go down and hit the gym. I was able to run a sprint of about 2 hours. Time was running out because the breakfast ends at 10. So I was able to do a quick run, come back up to the hotel room, do a quick shower, run back down to the lobby just in time to get breakfast. Came back up here at 10, and then now I'm filming this video. So that's what the last 3 days have involved. Today, I'm driving back to Portland, so checkout is at noon, but I have everything packed. So after this video, the goal is to then start driving back down to Portland and do a hike somewhere along the way. I haven't really picked it yet. This is where now work for my business begins. I planned for it, so I packed a separate bag with the exoskeleton in there, water, hiking gear, and luckily a hat, because looking at the weather, it looks like it might be a little cold or rainy today. So I brought long sleeves, pants, hat, just enough for, a colder summer day up in the Pacific Northwest. So the goal is to do a hike and record it for you guys, to document it, wearing the Exospine, the new exoskeleton design, talking about how it feels, doing a hike, and then just enjoying the beautiful scenery. So that's where I get to disconnect from everything that's been going on this week. And that's where schedules kind of overlap. Business and work still stay separate, but schedule and timing overlaps because it's Friday and we've done a lot of work for the organization I work with. We've done a lot of work this week, actually extra work with travel, with running the event, just putting in a little extra time. So Friday, our team kind of decided, we're done. It's Friday. We're just going to head back and no more work till Monday. So this is where I can disconnect from my regular work. I can disconnect a little bit for the rest of the day and the weekend. I can turn email off, separate that, work on Dorsum now for the rest of the evening, afternoon and evening, over into the weekend, do a hike, enjoy nature, disconnect from technology, just be in my thoughts, use the time to reflect on how the week went, the new connections I made, start planning for next week, balancing work and Dorsum as well. But I can kind of disconnect, and naturally what happens when I'm out on the hike, I'm enjoying the scenery, my mind is finishing all that reflection, winding down, and I can start to feel my mind start to wander out into the open space where I start to relax, I start to enjoy nature, I start to hear the birds, feel the fresh air or breeze or sunlight on my skin, face, and then just enjoy being out in the elements, feeling grounded, feeling connected to the present, and then also thinking and exploring and letting the mind just connect subconscious thoughts. Enjoying the hike, putting in a little bit of a workout. We'll see how today goes because I mentioned I did a 2-mile run this morning, which feels great. I feel warmed up. So the hike is going to be a little bit more carrying items, a little bit walking slower, more working out the muscles, getting movement. And for me, it's great because I get to work on Dorsum, I get to enjoy nature, I get to do hiking, which I love, but it also breaks the 3.5-hour drive back home in a more enjoyable way. I can pause the drive, or I can break it up in sections where we'll drive for about an hour and a half or so. Then I'll pause for the hike. I get my body moving, switch clothes so that I stay dry and get any sweaty clothes out of the way. Around that time, or usually after the hike, I get hungry, so I'll have a great lunch. And then back in the car, sitting in traffic for another 2.5 hours or so. We'll see what Friday afternoon traffic hour looks like heading back into town. That's the plan. Before getting home, though, I'll stop at the storage unit to drop off all the work equipment, cameras, banners, tripods, things like that, things that we carried up here for the event yesterday. I'll drop that off at the storage, then I'll head home and end of the day. That's the goal. And then over the weekend, the plan is to just spend both full days, Saturday and Sunday, focused on Dorsum, planning for the launch coming up, editing the new videos I've recorded over these last few weeks, start strategizing how those videos are going to fit in everything else we're doing. I'm going to work on a new script for the product video I have planned to do on Thursday this week coming up. So that's the weekend, focused on Dorsum work so that Monday I can come back and switch mind and gear over to my regular work as an accelerator manager. next week, back to working on Dorsum Saturday and Sunday. That's what this day and week has been like. And that's just 1 week of the entire month, the last week actually, but it's been like that for every week of this month. June has opened more opportunities to travel. I've attended a conference the second week of June, went down to Austin for an SBIR Spring Innovation Conference, which I got to meet a lot of entrepreneurs, talk to the federal agencies to their program directors on grants that's available for entrepreneurs, a lot of training that I then bring with me to train and talk to other entrepreneurs. So that was a 3-day trip down to Austin. And if you saw my previous video, you also noticed I did a hike out into Enchanted Rock. That was the second week of June. Last week, I was out in Bend, also visiting one of the innovation hubs out in Central Oregon, talking to entrepreneurs there, connecting to partner organizations out there, part of the ecosystem, just making those connections and expanding the network. And then I was able to go out and do a hike with the exoskeleton down to Smith Rock and then over to Fort Rock, coming back up last weekend to prepare for the trip up to Seattle this week. So it's been like that all month, just back-to-back travel every week, getting work done, making those connections. And in between all of that, finding ways to continue working on my business on Dorsum. Nights at the hotel, fitting a hike in between, and then on each of those trips, planning and emailing and keeping up with meetings over Zoom. That's what the whole month has been like. It all sounds fun and exciting, but let me tell you about the challenges. So what makes all of that challenging? Again, learning to balance having a full-time job that you love, that you're passionate about, with building a business that you're also passionate about and it's challenging and fun in different ways. Both of them feel like full-time jobs, which in reality they are. Sometimes I feel like I put more time in than a regular full-time schedule. The challenges are, like I mentioned first, let's start with the planning. You have to plan way ahead of time, keeping clothes clean, keeping all your electronics charged and clean, and you download all the videos, you organize them, you quickly upload. You got to get into the habit of quickly capturing all of that, uploading it into a file system or an external drive so that you can clear the cameras and charge the batteries. You want to make sure that everything is charged when you're traveling. You want to make sure that you have separate bags to keep things organized and separate. Same with schedule. You want to be able to keep up with emails, checking on calendar, make sure you don't miss any meetings or events that are important that you have scheduled. People try to get a hold of you when you make those connections. You want to be responsive. So it feels like I have to at least learn and get better at separating physical moments with virtual moments and communication. So you want to look at how can you maximize your full day from the moment you wake up, from the hotel room, things you have to do outside in person with things you can do digitally on your phone, on your laptop. When you're back at the hotel, making sure you're updated you stay updated, communicating to everyone that needs information from you, planning, looking at travel schedules, checkout times, if you're catching a train, if you're driving, if you're catching a plane, all of that. You might want to make sure that you are aware of all those check-in, check-out times and you don't miss any, because any delays can ruin the rest of your plan or the rest of your schedule. Any delays can also be more expensive. There's rescheduling fees, rebooking fees, or late fees. When you're traveling in hotels and flights, even dinner at times, there's all these extras fees and taxes that pile up. And if you're not careful with your time, you can lose control of fees where any potential discounts you were taking advantage of, you lose them, or you get changed into a different room, into a different flight. You miss out on discounts, and then you have to pay the price in that moment, or late fees, cancellation fees, things like that. So you want to make sure not to miss any important times. That's another challenge. Keeping up your energy. For me, it's from the moment I wake up till the moment I hit the bed, being present in conversations, when you're networking, meeting people, remembering names, remembering conversations, giving them information, giving them an introduction, receiving information from them. All of that happens quickly. Coordinating spaces, coordinating other people's schedules, making sure you bring your stuff, making sure you don't lose your stuff, making sure that others give you access to locations you need to enter. All of that requires a lot of mental focus and energy. Same with your body. You're moving up and down staircases, buildings, you're carrying stuff. You need physical energy. So that's another challenge. Finding ways to keep your energy up. For me, it's coffee, trying to get the most sleep that I can during the night. And I'll explain later what kind of tools I use to stay up with refreshing my energy night after night. There's an Oura Ring, there's my Apple Watch, there's my phone. There's things you can do to track, but we'll talk about that in another video. What are some of the tools and technology out there that could work for you, and how to manage your energy and sleeping schedules, because keeping that up is important. So coffee, any technology that can help you, but also moving. For me, doing exercise, running, it keeps my energy up, keeps my mind feeling fresh and focused. It does require doing a run, a workout, or hitting the gym if the hotel has one, right before going to bed. If I can't have a workout early in the morning, let's say I have to be somewhere or logged in for a meeting right at 8, then I'll do a workout right before going to bed. It, one, helps get any adrenaline down. You burn a lot of extra energy you might have still locked in. You burn energy, you bring adrenaline down, you clear your mind, you get your heart elevated. Workout feels good. You then come back to the hotel. You do like a cold shower is what I recommend. Also to cool down your body and then bring down your body temperature so that you can comfortably get a good night's sleep. So working out for me is great and it helps. Also, if you're drinking alcohol or any drinks, beverages like that over dinner, it helps to get that out of your system quicker. And in the morning, coffee. But like today, yesterday was a long day and I couldn't schedule a workout. So the workout happened this morning, which then gets me prepped for the day ahead. I know I'm going to be in a car sitting for many hours. So getting my body moving now is going to feel really good when I'm sitting for a long periods of time in the car. So that's kind of what helps me. And then also just staying on top of things, keeping an eye on the watch, making sure you don't fall behind on schedules like I mentioned before. So that's a lot of the challenges, keeping things organized in your mind. If you don't get some of those thoughts out and on paper or on a calendar, or get them crossed off your list, all of that stays on your mind, which then interrupts your sleep. So that's a lot of the challenges that come with it. And you want to be able to estimate the amount of time you're traveling so you could keep all of those updated and energy up. Because what happens when you get home, after everything is done, when you're at home, especially close to the weekend, when your mind can disconnect from schedules and responding to people that need things from you, when you're no longer in planning mode, when your adrenaline is not up, your body will suddenly crash and wind down. So that's where recovery starts. So in my mind, it's maintaining energy, hyper focus on what I'm doing, staying active throughout the day to keep that energy elevated. Because as soon as I hit home tonight, as soon as I get to bed, I'm going to knock out and sleep for 10 or 12 hours to then start the day tomorrow. And then tomorrow's recovery, cleaning, organizing, downloading video, recharging batteries, the equipment, but also myself, and then working slowly on the projects. So that's a lot of explaining today, this week, and this month. Just a few things of what an entrepreneur like myself, what we go through and what our schedules are like. Not every month is like this, but this is the reality for this month. Interrupts building the campaign, but all I can say is it's manageable. For me, it felt really tough at the beginning. Once you dedicate yourself more time, once you decide that you want to get better at it, because both a full-time job and your business are important, it gets easier. It gets easier to stay focused and keep your energy up. So you can do it. I believe you can do it too. It's getting for me a lot easier because I feel like I'm building that habit, and moments like this month, as I'm reflecting, it feels like a good exercise. Challenging myself to be able to do this for a full month, 3 major trips back to back. It challenged me. The way I felt about it at the beginning of the month was like, oh, I don't know if I can do it. It's going to be really challenging. I hope I don't miss or fall behind anything major or really important. And right now I can say, getting close to the end of the month, I feel really happy that I accomplished this goal. I feel happy with myself. I feel happy with what I accomplished individually and as a team and as like an ecosystem. At every event, I can confidently say now that every trip that I went to, every event, I maximized the opportunity. I maximized the energy and the connections and the people that I met. I maximized time with them. I can say I was able to do what I went out there to do. I was able to accomplish the goal. We were able to get things done. We got what we went out to do. That's at the end of the day or at the end of the week or at the end of the month. That feeling right there is irreplaceable. It's feeling content that you did it, feeling content that you accomplished everything that you wanted to. And it feels like I can do it again. Like another month like this is going to be easier. That's also another satisfying feeling where you're accomplishing, it feels like growth. I can confidently say that I can take on 2 months like that. And 1 month doesn't scare me anymore. It doesn't worry me anymore. Yeah, so I can do it. You can do it too. If you have any help, reach out. Ask questions down below. I'm happy to answer in more detail, or I'm happy to offer tips and advice. Or if you want me to go in more detail, let me know. I have a lot to share. Okay, that's enough for today. Talk to you guys later. I'm about to pack and then check out of my hotel and start the drive back. Talk to you guys later.